but just a little bit back down this road. But it takes more effort to keep it pure, because now the standard procedure for, growing food is to just spray a bunch of toxins on it. And now they're even changing its DNA so it'll grow faster and bigger and in more quantities. And the thing about genetically modified foods is that it's not that GMOs are inherently bad on their own. It's just that when the foods grow, they're grown incomplete. If human beings, okay, let me go back a few steps. Genetically modified foods are bad in the context that they're made today because extensive research isn't done on them. Just enough research to fill the pockets of corporations is done, and they just do the genetic modification. So the foods end up incomplete. And so the genetic modification isn't to, enhance the overall value of the plant or the food. It's just to make it grow bigger or grow faster or whatever, and fill corporate pockets. Because nothing is inherently bad or good. Like genetic modification, if done in consciousness, can enliven more of the value of that plant. And if real research were done on it, we could have a way to, grow food or have food more abundant or more efficient. Well, the truth of the matter is, even if we did know that in a very divine way, know how to genetically modify foods divinely, if you will, we don't really need it. You see, the big lie and the illusion is that the world is overpopulated. That's what I feel, that it's a big lie. I feel that it's a big lie to get humans to once again destroy themselves, so we feel that we're bettering ourselves. And this is the lie that comes in when human beings don't understand their true nature. And they become very dramatic, or we have become very dramatic because we've been programmed to be very dramatic. And we feel that in order to make an omelet, you gotta break a few eggs. It's like, that's basically our approach to everything. Almost, especially in these days and times. It's like the end times to me is like a big mind fuck, because it seems like people want the end times to happen. They want all these bad things to happen because that is what they've programmed their mind to expect. This is the drama that they've programmed themselves to believe in, and they really want to manifest it because of their need for the drama. If you told them, hey, none of that's going to happen the way you think it's going to happen, it's going to be pretty smooth and cool, and it's all about what you choose, what I'm saying? Let's say they were at the level of consciousness where they were prepared to receive that information, and they could actually live what you have shared with them, and then they'd realize it wasn't a big deal. But it seems like people want the end times to happen. They want all this war, they want all this chaos, they want all this destruction, just to fulfill their need to have some kind of drama. And humanity kind of is, I don't think that's the predominant consciousness, but I think that's definitely part of the human consciousness that we share, is to have that drama. And it's just so crazy. And it's like, but we're also trained to have that kind of drama, or to create that kind of drama, or be addicted to that kind of drama through entertainment. That's one reason why I really don't like watching movies, because movies, they peddle the same story. It's a protagonist, there's a bad guy, he has to fight the bad guy, he has to destroy the bad guy, and he has to move forward. There are sacrifices made, there are things, you know what I'm saying? It's like the movie's basically programming people how to get to higher states of consciousness, but they're really going into lower states of consciousness. Now, if you look at movies from a more evolved standpoint, you could say that the protagonist is learning to understand himself through the villain. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Cool. But we understand that many people don't think like that. They watch the movie and it's like they know how the movie's going to go. They know how the movie's generally going to go. If you go to see Iron Man 2, you know there's Iron Man, but Iron Man can't be Iron Man without a bad guy. He can't be Iron Man without a villain. Okay? So you expect the villain. Not only do you expect the villain, you expect them to meet up and fight. Like, people know these three things are going to happen. There's going to be a hero, there's going to be a villain, and they're going to clash. And it's like, we know this, but it's, for some reason, it's just like, we just want that over and over and over and over and over. There has to be some kind of conflict that the hero is going through personally, and this is expressed in his bouts with the villain. And the villain knows the hero's weak point. That's why the villain exists. Once the hero transcends his own weak point, he's able to defeat the villain. But through the movie, and I know I'm digressing like crazy, but the villain, or the hero-villain thing, that whole way that movies are made, the general way that movies are made, train people to think that, you know, from a less evolved standpoint, that anything that threatens them must be destroyed. And in order to make an omelet, you gotta break a few eggs. And it's really, really something. Because it just perpetuates this consciousness of separation, which is completely untrue. That's why I said, from an evolved standpoint, you could look at the movie as the hero simply mastering himself, and the villain is just on the outside. The villain is not his enemy. The villain is just is his teacher, teaching the hero how to master himself. So, but most people are taught and trained and programmed not to think from that evolved standpoint. They're taught and trained to think from